I found that dealing with one-on-one with patients that I didn't have any problems until outside of the office when I was dealing with the community in general. I found that I wasn't being able to hear as well. So I had our local physician check me with a very minor hearing test, and he sent me to a specialist. And then I found out I had a defect that was pretty profound, and that defect was because I was in the speech range where if I was one-on-one with somebody without any background noise, I was fine, but if I was with any background noise, I was having difficulty hearing. Biggest problem was at meetings and at restaurants and things like that, but meetings were the biggest problem for me. And it's been a world of difference since I've gotten, and I found out I had both hearing aids. I needed both hearing aids, so I was putting both of those in was a huge difference for me. Well, I can focus on instead of trying to read lips, I can actually focus on what someone's saying by looking at their eyes, which is so much easier. The problem before was that you'd be just distracted by all the other noises out there, and you just couldn't really, it was, what did you say, or and it just wasn't, you can't do that at a meeting when somebody's making a talk and then you're supposed to respond. I had to be very careful about where I was sitting. I couldn't sit at the end of a long table. You know, I was self-conscious about it, probably why I avoided it for the last year when I found out that I needed them. When he put that hearing aid in, I mean, it was like 2 seconds it was in, and it made a huge difference right away without even all the fancy adjustments. I didn't need any special plugs. Most people, I think it took them a couple of days before they realized that I even had one. It fits behind the ears, and I don't have a problem with it at all. He told me that my voice was going to sound different, that I wouldn't like it perhaps, but I haven't found that to be the fact. I thought that it actually sounds clearer, and I was able to hear myself a little bit better, which I think has helped. Oh, I recommend it all the time now. As I've gotten older in my practice, dealing with women's health, a lot of the patients have hearing difficulties, and you can pick it up. Even though you're on a one-on-one discussion in a quiet atmosphere, I know, and plus it's one of the questions that I'm supposed to ask for Medicare patients is, are you having any problems hearing? And the answer is, I don't think so, but my husband says I am. So that's the typical answer that they have. And then I'll say, have you had a hearing test? Most of the time they say, yes, I have, but I just have decided I just didn't want to do it. And then I'll talk to them and convince them that it's a good thing to do. It's going to improve their lives. I've seen what happened to my folks when they got frustrated in their older age by just having to repeat themselves over and over and over again. Well, one of the advantages that I have in the office is that when I'm using a stethoscope and I'm not able to use the hearing aids, I reach in, I take it out, and I put my stethoscope in, and it takes me 2 seconds to put them right back in again, and there's no whistling, nothing disturbs anybody. Of course, the patients now have figured out I have a hearing aid, which they probably hadn't figured out before, but that's okay. A lot of them are getting older just like I am.